Happy Cleary Day, legends. It was a fun night of footy, that's for sure, except for the start. I'll say that. I did change my tip from Titans to Broncos, and it was just a mess, this game, wasn't it, in the end? And congrats to Titans for coming over the top and winning this one emphatically. Almost 30 points they got up in this one after being down 12-0 and 18-10 at halftime. And yeah, just Broncos were very, very bad, basically. Obviously losing two big players in Haas and Mam, but really just the effort defensively, the trying too many things, like Walsh was, stuck with a bit of that, and just picking the wrong call. The errors just gave the Titans the ball so much in this game, and wasn't to be for the Broncos. And their season, they're so low at the moment. The Titans are well ahead of them on the table, and it was led by some cracking players, and none other than Jojo Fafita. The wrong Fafita there, picking up a 90. Would expect in the last month or so, since we've all owned David Fafita, that he'd come out with a big score like this. And it's just not happening this year. He's not playing as well, apart from that sort of month or so near the beginning of the season. Since most of us have picked him up, he's been okay. Not the traditional David Fafita self, but Jojo, on the other hand, a cracking game for him. 3 tries, 3 tries. Very similar to that effort of Connor Tracy, but this time on the wing for Jojo here. And this Keeney thing is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Each and every week, it just gets worse and worse for us. He had the sin bin and still picked up a 73 in this game. Like, to start the season with this guy, just hold him. I thought, what's funny is last year we had, Tommy Talau that I owned from the start, and he stayed in my team for way too long. And this year I ended up moving on from Keeney and trying to get rid of my, red dots. And turns out it would have been the best play. And I think I would have been clearly in a top 50 kind of setup if I just held Keeney all this way. And that's just wild, starting with a cheapie and how much of a difference he would have made. And Keeney was that guy. He has turned into one of the better football players in this comp right now. Form-wise, he's been absolutely spectacular, and all props to him. He's working so hard. He's doing everything great. Obviously, the sin bin wasn't great in this one because of in the scoring play opportunity, it was the professional foul. So fair enough on that one, but 2 tries is 2 tries for him. If you're still holding on to Keeney, you've absolutely crushed it. Thirdly here, we got Beaufort Moore with the 69. Picked up a try late, but 41 tackles, 129 metres for him. Picked up a line break assist there for Kieran Foran as well. Probably a forward pass, and then Kieran Foran passing it off the ground. I'm not sure what the exact ruling is of that one. Maybe you had to hold on to him for another quarter second or something like that before it was a held call, but they played on anyway. Anywho, 69 for Beaufort Moore after he's 44 when people bought him last week. If you still jumped on this week or you got him last week, you'd be super happy and stoked with this 69. Carrigan with a 66, a great return to form. Obviously, he was going to have to play 80 minutes in this one, and he did everything he could to try and get them the win. He had the 1 missed tackle, no errors, and the penalty as well. And it was all it all come to a head when he got that nice offload out near the back end when they were trying to make a comeback, and Willison threw an arm out. It just, he obviously didn't pass it exactly where he wanted to, but got the knock on there from Willison, and that was that was probably officially the game right there. Phil Sami was 62 with that try there, with the try saver as well, and a try assist. He had a cracking game there too. Obviously, all the outside backs really dominated there in this kind of whitewash in the end. Dave Fafita with 52. I was just thinking to myself then, and just messaged a private group about it. I was just like, I just feel so great knowing that I can watch Panthers v Knights this afternoon, Cleary as captain, sit back, put the feet up, and enjoy myself. And I know that obviously everyone has Cleary, and most people have Cleary and have captained him, but there's obviously the few that haven't. And Fafita was the second top pick, or or Payne Haas obviously was a potential captaincy option as well if you don't have Cleary. So it just feels nice knowing that we've all jumped on. We can just watch him go around and dominate in peace. Basically, it's nice. It's a nice feeling. So Fafita just hasn't been himself. And what about that in the end? He ends up with that try assist, I think, for the pass back on the inside to Kelly, who went through in the end. And it just feels wild to me that again, with following on from the try assist chat from last night's video or yesterday's video there, that Watson and Plath couldn't get a try assist for their efforts, whereas all Fafita did was just give him the ball and he did the rest, and he got the try assist for it, but no line break assist. It was just a weird one. Not sure if that will stick or what, but the other ones are definitely more of a try assist than that, in my opinion. But there you go. It's just my opinion, as we know. 172 run meters, 6 tackle breaks, 20 tackles, no offloads in this one for Fafita. It's just not that style of game for him, and obviously 20 tackles because they had the ball for so long. But then again, Furmore's getting in there and making 41. So, yes, on the other side, but same position there. It's a very interesting little thought on that one. But Fafita, 52, still averaging 63. He's priced at 800k. It's not the end of the world, but it's not great either. Ravisi Walsh, 52 with a double for him. Those 2 tries are spectacular at the start, and then, yeah, nothing really happened in the back end. He moved to 6 for part of the end of that game there. And, yeah, still solid score, and hopefully for him, he can continue to do well for owners. Chris Randall with a 52. Terrific line break and try assist there for Beau Fermor. If you had the Randall-Beau combo, you would be absolutely cheering on that one. So, yeah, good 52 in the end for him. Almost playing the full 80, mixing between 9 and 13 with Verrills going down in the back end. And then 446, Reynolds 43. It's just not... Reynolds doesn't look himself right now, unfortunately. Neither does the team, so it's just not happening. Piakura was 66 minutes for him, 41 tackles, 3 misses, 22 run meters for an edge back rower. For a guy that's meant to be a damaging ball runner, it's just absolutely wild how that one plays out. Willison with 52 minutes. This actually, the Payne Haas news is the big news of this game, and this helps Willison greatly, and thankfully I'm still an owner. Didn't play him this week, but still 37 and 52, a little bit low on the PPM side, but yeah, not much was going to happen in this game when they got absolutely smashed, and hopefully they can be in games a little bit more, and his PPM can stay pretty strong. But Jensen with 36, a little bit of a low one for him. Surprisingly, the minutes were lower with Haas going off, but Campbell here with 35. Picked up 5 goals in this one, missed a few obviously, but 12 tackles for 3 misses, a couple of tackle breaks in there for him only, 68 in the run meters, 1 forced dropout, 230 kick meters, so no offloads, no big attacking stats for Campbell. 35 in that scenario is not the worst. You'd have that, for your fullback. We saw Tedesco only get pick up a 29 this week, so it's going to happen, but very frustrating for owners of him. Yeah, I'm with him in Supercoach, and yeah, it wasn't too much better. We've got Aaron Clark, if anyone's still kicking with him, 28, and a welcome return for Jamin Jolliffe for 25 in 33 minutes for him. Just a slow return from his pec issue. It's good to see him back. Brian Kelly with that one try on that one. Isaac Liu, 23 in the 26 minutes. Yeah, Khan Pereira, Moser, Mam, Haas. Haas is a big one. 17 in 10 minutes. Thank God he's an absolute beast. And I was shitting my pants, basically, when he was on 18, I think it was, before updates. 18 in 11 minutes. And you're like, holy moly, that is incredible. And then, yeah, Liz Frank injury, it looks like, is what it's going to be. Not confirmed, but that's what the team doc fears. And that's what NRL Physio put up. So super frustrating if that's the case. He will be out for the season. And, can you imagine if they were in finals contention and he was going to be out for the season too? That would have been an absolute shocker. But that's the big news here. And unfortunately, he's going to be one of those guys that you will have to make a trade on, sadly, if all is confirmed, which I think it will be. We just haven't had any further news at this point. Harry Grant, welcome back, big fella. And this was a half sad one for me, just obviously because I owned him for a lot of the season. Ended up trading him on for Damien Cook, which turned out even better in this game, this night, obviously. But yeah, just something to think about and ponder. But actually didn't bother me, which was great, just because I think I had the good side on the other one. But Harry with double, a nice couple of line breaks there. One of the line breaks for the try assist from Jerome Hughes, which I was happy with that to start off this game. But yeah, Harry was in this one with 46 tackles. A very close game, so you'd expect that here. I can't believe the Storm lost to the Dragons. So the Dragons have come back nicely, and they do, what is it? They win close and lose big. No, they usually win by a lot if they win. But yeah, it wasn't to be in this one. A nice close one for them there. All right, next section, you've got Jaden Sewell with a double for him. A couple of the kicks there were great. Eisenhuth worked hard, 67 minutes for 64 points and 47 tackles was big. Ben Hunt for 62 there for him. Trent Liero with a 55 in 80. Jerome Hughes a 54 in the end. That nice start, 7 tackle breaks. Just the kick meters are super low at 168, so that's really surprising. Obviously him at 168 there. You've got Munster only with the 60 kick meters, so they just weren't kicking the footy, the Storm. So yeah, maybe that's something that they'll have to have a little bit of a look at in the post game. But Hughes 54, solid enough. He's priced according to that now, so no problem before he got up near 800, but he's dropped down, and anything around this sort of 54 to 56 I'll be happy with going forward. Obviously, being on 32 and 30 minutes or something like that, I was pretty keen for a bigger score, but it wasn't to be there. In that one, I think it ended up 32 at halftime, and then 35 in 57 minutes. I was like, oh god, we're slowing down. So I'm glad he ended up moving up a little bit. Munster there with Flanagan, 53 and 52. So good stuff for Munster. Had the early line break and had a try assist later on as well. Solid from him. I wouldn't still be jumping on. You got Lomax with 46 for him on this one. 1 try saver, 3 goals, 1 line break. So a little bit across the board, but big win for him. Sully with 46. DeBellanth 43. If he did hold on, it was probably the better hold in the end. Actually, no, it was him or Fainu, wasn't it? So, yeah, at least they both scored pretty well. Leilua, 41. Blore still getting that 10-minute rest. Little bit of run, decent amount of run meters at 75 compared to other games, but just the one offload, no tackle breaks there. Tackle numbers are okay, so just a solid game overall for Blore. I'm not too displeased with that at the price point. Sloan with a pretty good game there, 2 line breaks and a try for him. Little was a low one at 36, unfortunately, in 80 minutes. Missed 5 tackles, 3 penalties there. Just a 1 line break assist, which was a good one at that. But just not a big game for him. Hopefully he bounces back for owners next week. Howarth with a 36. A bit more of a stock standard game for him. He got very close to scoring a try. But again, that was denied. And if he gets that, he's into the 50s and you're cheering again. But if you didn't play him this week, probably be the correct play. Or if you could loop him out and pick someone else, that was good. Nelson, 50 minutes for him in this one. 34 points. So hopefully he, if any owners of him, he can continue getting good time. And then Eli Katoa, 68 minutes in this one, 32 points. He's absolutely fallen off a cliff in the back end of the season. You look at what he's going to be priced at, about 600k after this week, averaging 51 for the season. So he's in an absolute free fall right now. And as owners, what do you do? That's the big question. I think if you've got lots of trades, you could look to move him on, but he could easily bounce back. And at the moment, it's not happening, but it could. That's probably the big worry there. Fainai, 30, you got Meany with 26 there. Hamsele, Grant Anderson, a little bit of a low one for him with a line break try for 23 after he's been absolutely crushing. And the 3 big ones to finish. Will Warbrick's been killing it recently, only picked up 19. Tyron Wishart through the middle there, picked up an 18 in 24 minutes. Make sure to move him on. It looks like Munster's feeling a lot better. And Pappenhausen, 7 in 80 minutes. It's just a really tough one there. He had 4 tackles for 1 miss, 69 run meters. No tackle breaks, no offloads. It was just not his game. And what you see there is they hardly kicked the footy. Obviously that the Storm did, and it's not like they were running the footy plenty. So it just wasn't their best game, and nothing great for him as well. All right, so this was the game that the straw that broke the camel's back for my squad this week. I ended up with the top 4 scorers in this game, and then 7th or 8th in white in there as well. And this was absolutely needed for my side just to make that big push up to the next level whilst trying to hold trades. And having Cook and Gray in my starting 17 was just spectacular to watch. In a losing side, 20-6, for them to only score 1 try, and obviously Gray scored one of them. Thankfully for them, there was a bunch of try saver turnover tackles in there for all of these players, apart from Iro. But Cook was spectacular, guys. He had obviously 13 points in try savers turnover tackles, so that drops him down to an 82, but it was basically 82 and pure base there. 1 line break, but 45 tackles, back running the footy again, 145 meters, 7 tackle breaks there in this one was awesome. And actually kicked a tiny bit out of dummy half for 82 meters. Just that extra 8, mate, and a forced dropout. So awesome game from Cook, and hopefully he sticks there for the rest of the season before he can move on, because he's absolutely the best player in that team outside of Murray. So he needs to be there for sure to just make the end of the season respectable, I think. And then Jai Gray, he's an absolute pocket rocket, as they said on commentary. An incredible athlete for such a small guy. He's so tough as well. Like, he has every attribute you want in a footy player, apart from the ridiculous size that like a Latrell has, obviously. But he can do it in other ways, and that's a really cool thing about these smaller guys in the NRL. And he had 3 line breaks, picked up that try. They absolutely burnt Kale Aro in the end. He gave him the in and away, and off he went, that's for sure. But 8 kick defusals, 150 meters there with 3 line breaks. So he didn't get a lot of big runs outside of those line breaks there where he made 20, 30 meters each time. And 13 tackle breaks was just incredible. So proud of Jai Gray in my side, in my 17, and hope to see him there for the rest of the season. But we'll see how that one plays out with Latrell. And number 3 on the list with Kale Iro. Most people own him, but it's just good to see someone, a position there where you don't have to worry about, especially if you're lacking trades like us there, or myself, like you guys, a lot of people out there. But 2 try assists and a try actually worked out really well for him, moving out to the wing when Stone Street was off for his HIA, because Stone Street was involved in everything, a couple of no tries as well, and then Iro went out there and he was involved in everything too. So they found a big weakness down that right hand defensively for the South there, and Iro was able to pounce on a couple of them with 2 try assists, a try, obviously 5 tackle breaks. And negatives weren't great for him, but he had 210 run meters to offset that. Koloamatangi finally had a rest in this one, a good one at that of 24 minutes, but 54 points for him in the end in 56 minutes. I'm very happy with that. Thankfully, it was propped up by a try-saver turnover tackle. Tackles are really low at 29, surprisingly, and then 145 run meters. So hopefully those numbers could bump up and he gets back to about a 65-minute sort of sesh for the rest of the year. I think that'll be pretty solid if he can handle that. But he's done 80 the last couple of weeks, so you knew that a rest game was coming. I'm just very happy that he was able to get a 54 in that rest game. And he actually outdid McInnes PPM-wise in the same minutes, so 52. They basically followed each other's minutes there, obviously there. And the points, just a few more tackles for McInnes, and a couple, obviously extra the defensive stats for Koloamatangi there. So McInnes is 52, you're happy with that. 6 solid with him for the rest of the season. You got Murray's 43. For those that bought, there were a bunch, and he picked up just 34 tackles there, 2 tackle breaks, an offload to ground, a few negatives in there, nothing crazy, but 111 meters. So just a little bit sort of average across the board there for Murray. You'd be hoping for a bit more, and hopefully after he's had a few weeks off that he can get into a bit more fitness and do really well next week. Ramian obviously had to go off for 15 minutes as well, with 41 for him, a really good line break try assist down that right hand side. White in there with 40, so he had a little bit of just an okay game. He had 6 missed tackles and an inside 10 for neg 13, but 5 tackle breaks, 20 tackles made, and an offload, some good run meters and kick meters as always. So I think if we can get anywhere in the 40s for him, and then that random 60 that he got last week, then he'll be absolutely sweet. Sun's coming into my eyes now. I'm sitting outside. Trindle, 39. Unfortunately, a hamstring issue. Sounds like it at worst it'll be a week. So it was like a hamstring awareness thing, so he could feel it and just decided to come off there in the last 11 minutes. So hopefully he's good to go next week for those that bought him. But in this one, he was on track for a 45 or so, and 39. Not the end of the world, but you would hope for a little bit more in a win. And he just wasn't on song goal kicking either, so left a few points on the table in that one there. Duncan, hopefully he's good to go next week. Duncan with 37 in 41 minutes. Wilton with 36, so in a winning side. Unfortunately for him, a low base stat game with some negatives. No real attacking stats for him, which was frustrating. But he'll be fine going forward. He has been a bit up and down this year, so that wasn't his expected outcomes for sure, but you would hope for a bit more. And kind of the annoying one of this game was Britton Nickera at 33 in the 80 minutes again, another low score. And going back to, let's hope that it's not 3 30s in a row like he did a couple of months ago. But he's on 2 in a row now, and hopefully that does bounce back. But yeah, for a guy that's one of the most damaging ball runners in the game, it just does hardly get the ball, which is annoying. But down that left-hand side was where the money was, apart from that one try with Ramian to Sione Katoa there. Hopefully bounce back for Nickera. Don't look at trading him for sure. And then you've got Kafusi, Hos, Dapa, Kepi, Stone Street. Yeah, Stone Street there. Obviously, it was just in everything, and had a few tries disallowed. One he dropped, so it was his fault. But two line breaks there and a try. Ended up not too bad for anyone who did jump on. Atkinson only 17, a terrific goal at the end, but that was kind of the highlight of his match there, with 5 missed tackles, 2 errors. Had a good long pass that could have worked out that didn't. Fletcher Myers, if anyone jumped on him, 17. Cheekham going to get low now, 9 in 25 minutes, so make sure he's out of your sides. Unfortunately, off the bench, and then Talakai, a terrific pump and line break assist there in that one, but had 6 missed tackles out of making 18 there in 39 minutes with 2 penalties and error. So a bit all over the shop for Talakai. Not his best game, that's for sure. And then Mamazelis was 18th man, along with Jaden Beryl. They're the 3 games, guys. I look forward to today's couple of games. Panthers up against the Knights, and the Doggies up against the Raiders. I wish you guys all the best of luck for those last 2. I'm sitting with 4 players left, which includes my loop of Samuela Fainu. So yeah, I hope you guys go well, and we'll see you in the next one.